Many years ago, I heard of a I knew these people very well, actually. They were a very, very happily married couple. They were an older couple compared to, my age at the time. So there was about a 30 something age difference. They were older. And you know what? Everything seemed hunky dory for them in every way, shape, manner, or form, except for one thing. And I noticed it even back then. The husband, okay, took over the entire financials. I mean, and the wife, she didn't want to deal with it at all whatsoever. I mean, I don't even think she knew how to balance a checkbook. I'm not even kidding you. And in fact, I found out later on actually that that literally was the case. And the thing is, their relationship was amazing. It worked out for them. The whole entire marriage. Listen, you do your thing with that, and I'll do my thing with that. You take over the entire financials. I mean, she just had zero to do with it. Just maybe spend the money. Not didn't want to be bothered with it. And there are a lot of couples like that. And for the time being, well, in it to win it, they're okay. Except for one problem. They had a perfect relationship. They had a perfect marriage, except for one problem. The husband suddenly passed away. Uh, uh, uh. Where did that leave that sweet lady? In a very difficult position. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money and More Jan channel. We don't like to think of stuff like this. None of us do. I mean, seriously, do we? No, we don't like to think of that. That was like a suddenly single situation, but not only suddenly single, the wife did not, now widow, did not know what to do. That's a very scary place to be. And in this very, very busy world, you get a lot of promises from maybe friends or even family. Oh, yeah, I'll come over. I'll talk to you. I'll help you straighten this matter out and blah, blah, blah. And maybe in the beginning, for a few minutes, that might work. And then it all goes away. And then the person, it could be the wife or it could be the husband or whomever, whatever partner, whatever partnership is going on. If there's one person that relied zero on, I mean, excuse me, totally relied on the other person to handle every single cent of financials, and while they kicked back and didn't do that, then if they're left suddenly single, they are left in a really bad place. Okay, I'm just saying. And in the case of that couple, their little thing worked out forever and ever and ever. They were married a very, very long time. They were very happily married, and their plan worked for them as long as things remain the same. Well, in real life, time goes on, things evolve, stuff happens. I'm trying to be polite here. Stuff happens, good, bad, or indifferent. Things occur. She was not ready. So Tay's message is short and sweet. I don't care if you're in a perfect relationship. I do believe that everybody should be it to some capacity. I'm not saying, become a CPA or anything. I'm just saying, like, at least, the basic knowledge. What bills do we have here? What, basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? What are we paying? And I don't know. I mean, yeah, I know people, and I have done that myself in the past, having meetings, like have meetings with your spouse, your partner, your significant other, whatever. Have meetings with those people. Even if it's once every 2 weeks, talk about money. That will avoid a lot of problems. See, money, money is a very touchy subject for a lot of people. So some people figure, listen, we won't fight or argue, if you will. Argue is the correct word. We will not argue if we don't talk about it. It'll just go away. Well, yeah, that doesn't always work. Okay, I'm just saying. So that's all I'm saying. It's just a reminder to, every little thing helps. Uh, Learn how to balance a checkbook, understand what certain basic terminology. Here's the great news, okay? Now, when that situation happened to that couple, that was a while back. This was before the internet was widely used and so on and so forth. If you had to learn about it, and for some reason, and don't ask me why, I don't know the reason, especially back in the day, financial education was just like a big fat zero, nothing burger. I will always, always try to push for people to put it in their schools. Put basic financial education in the classroom. Small. Some schools do. Some schools start very small, even like in kindergarten, like with the basic, basic stuff. When you were going to school as a child, do you remember this? I remember this. We would either bring in pennies or we would count on our fingers or some pieces of candy, and then we would, count, take away, subtraction, add, addition, very, very young. We learned how to tell time on a clock, not read a digital thing, but learned how to tell time on a real clock. I remember that like in, I don't know, first or second grade, basic stuff, basic stuff. Learn how to save, the importance of being frugal, or at least, thinking twice before spending, monitoring our spending habits, even as children. This is why, in my opinion, and you could throw it out with the bathwater, but in my opinion, I think it's really, really important to start a savings program that, like your children are proactive with and learn how to understand. Give them an allowance, a weekly allowance, and see what happens. I mean, see how they, work out with spending and saving. Got to learn someplace. This is what I don't like at all. Do you remember back in the day? I remember this very vividly. I think I just turned 17 or 18. I was at some sort of a mall, and they were handing out applications for credit cards like, oh, you're just graduating high school and going to college, cha-ching on their end. And they're handing out applications for credit cards so that you could have the privilege of earning, money, spending money to increase your. I don't remember dealing with a credit score when I was coming out of high school. Might have been in existence, but I don't remember paying attention to it. This is what I'm trying to say. It's almost as if the financial institutions don't want you to know. I hate to put it that way. Don't like saying that, especially back in the day. The less you know, the less you know. The more you spend, the less you know. It's like a vicious cycle. So, I was thinking about my old friends from back in the day, and they had a great marriage. They really, really did. The only issue was that one of the wife didn't want to be bothered to learn about financials. And I said to myself back then, I said, I don't know. I don't I don't think that's such a great idea. Sometimes people say things like they say, we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that. And then you wonder, really? And then you ask yourself, how could it? But you can't say anything because it's none of our business. You know where I'm going with this? So the only business you could concern yourself with is your own. We have to keep ourselves knowledgeable, take action steps. Rome was not built in one day. Okay. So, what we could do basically is just learn a little bit at a time. But learning a little bit at a time, all the time, you're going to be a lot more prepared. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate everybody's time. Don't forget to come back in the future for some more tips, tricks, frugal living, and more other topics as well. And I really do appreciate you. Take good care of yourself, your amazing family. Super thanks. I'll forever appreciate it. Thank you.